Explain it to me. What's the reasoning behind jumping on your middies and shooting more of a set shot on the three?
So for me, I shoot more of a not push, but like it's a lower release from three. And with that, I'm shooting from farther. And when you're jumping really high and shooting a low release and shooting from far, the mechanics are just off. And like the rhythm and the cadence is just off for me. And so you'll see a lot of people that shoot from deep, like Steph, Tyrese, like they don't jump that high because you don't want to mess it up. Like you're using your legs, but you're using a lot of arms as well. And then when you get in that mid-range area, like you'll watch Book. He's a perfect example of this. He doesn't jump like a ton on his threes, but when he gets to the middies, he's jumping, elevating. His shot pocket is like, well, his release is really high. And, I look at a lot of different guys and I analyze like, all right, when you're getting to that mid-range area, there's a lot of people down there. There's a lot of hands, a lot of contests. You can't shoot a low release shot unless you're fading. And I'm not there yet. So I need to get up a little bit higher and shoot like a higher jump shot.
Is that part of the reason, the low release point, is that part of the reason that you put so much arc on your shot?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Because I try to get under it for sure. Yeah. And also that's just how I was taught, just to get under it, get a lot of arc on it. Because if you shoot a line drive, you're just not giving it much of a chance to go in. I mean, unless you're JJ shooting a missile or Kyle Korver. Y'all two shoot missiles.
I had a little arc on it. I wasn't Ray Allen.
Not a lot.
Ray Allen shot a line drive.
Ray and Kyle, they shoot missiles just right at the rim and just go straight in.
It's funny because I would adjust my shot pocket throughout the course of my career. Like I think if you look at me at Duke, it was closer to my forehead. Mm-hmm. If you look at later on, it was off to the side. Yeah. And then towards the end of my career, it was actually like higher up. Part of it is because I had a messed up shoulder. So when I shot it like this, my clavicle would do this and I'd miss. So I had to shoot it a little higher. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like constantly adjusting that. But it's funny to me because when I would practice, and we all as shooters, you're more than a shooter, by the way. I don't want to, that wasn't a dig.
No. I can shoot the ball well, though. I appreciate it.
I consider you a shooter, a player, but a great shooter. But as shooters, like we practice so much. In a game, I wouldn't have like the sort of cognizance and like the thing to be like, all right, I'm going to shoot a set shot here. I'm going to shoot a jumper here. To me, it was like just that rhythm. But I guess if you're practicing one way over and over, it does become natural.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not really a conversation I'm having where I'm like, all right, I'm right here. Let me shoot up a little higher. It's really just natural, like second nature. But, I look at so many guys shooting the ball. Like I'll watch B.I. shoot, Brandon Ingram. And I watch CJ, like I watch a bunch of different guys and just see what little things they do, because at the end of the day, shooting isn't like just one specific thing that you can do. Like Fred Vinson, he's one of our shooting coaches, good shooting coach. And we talk about it a lot because it's like, there's not one set way to shoot. Like if you look at Klay, the way that he shoots is very different from Steph. Or you're going to try to tell Klay to shoot like Steph? No. You're going to live with what they do. There's obviously some very fundamental things that you have to do, but at the end of the day, it's person by person base.
Who do you think is the prettiest shot? And not one person, but like who do you like watch shooting in the league right now?
Definitely Book. Book is one of them. Maxi's jump shot is actually really nice. I like looking at his jumper.
Low-key it is. You're right.
Yeah. Just didn't want to give a regular answer. Yeah, didn't want to give a regular answer.
Yeah. Let me ask you something if you do this, because I'm actually fascinated by this, that you pay so close attention to how people shoot, because I do the same thing and I've done it my whole life. And I would tell people, like when I played, teammates would shoot a free throw and I would just watch their release. And because I'd been around them enough and seen them shoot enough, I knew whether they were going to make or miss it. And now I was telling my 8-year-old last night when we were watching the Heat Bucks game, I like naturally do this thing. I only watch the release and then I'll watch the initial arc of the ball. And I'm like 95%. I'm like, I know if it's a make or miss, even when I'm watching on television. I can just tell. And it's not because I'm like, oh, that guy shot it wrong. It's like, oh, that guy shot it wrong or right for him, because I've watched so much of how they shoot. Do you do that?
Definitely.
Is that what you're talking about when you watch how guys shoot? Is just like that sort of time capsule of the shot, right?
A lot of it is cadence. Like some guys, when they're open, they take their sweet time. And it's like, no, shoot it the same way. Like if you don't shoot it the same way, it's just going to be off. Like I have troubles with that sometimes where I'll be wide open. I'm like, all right, let me check the laces, get the spin right. Then I'm thinking too much. But it's just like if you just catch it, just shoot it right away, then you're in your rhythm. And so, I'll watch B.I. shoot, and he has a different cadence on his 3-point shots than he does on his mid-range shots. Like you'll notice on his mid-range shots, it's almost perfect. Like he's literally going straight up, straight down, all that. With his 3-point shots, he's like, you can tell he's definitely working on it and like trying to get a lot of power into it. And remember, he told me like he didn't even shoot threes like that in his rookie year. And like right now, he's trying to add more and more volume into his 3-point shot. You can tell just like how much better he's getting at it.
Yeah, he does jump forward.
Yeah.
He does jump forward, which helps draw fouls.
Absolutely.
I know. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Oh man, like James Harden. I remember first time guarding him, and I think it was at home. I remember jumping and contesting straight on. Coming back, foul on a 3-point shooter. So
there's a reason that all the guys, Steph, I don't think really does it as much, but I know Jamal did, I did, James did. All-time leaders in 4-point plays. Like we all jump forward except for Steph, pretty much.
Yeah, and you sell it a little bit too.
Huh?
You sell it a little bit too.
Huh?
Sell it a little bit too.
So what do you when you're defending that? If you're defending James right now, what do you do?
You literally have to stay on the side of him.
Yeah.
Like when he shoots, you cannot contest forward. You have to stay on the side because even if you are like not touching him, you're gonna be close enough. They're gonna call foul.
James is smart too. Jamal was the same way where when I was not like a dribble package pull up 3 guy, right? I was a 1 or 2 dribble off like a dribble handoff for a pick and roll when I shot off the dribble. Those guys are ISO, right? They're so good when they like feel you head on in their airspace, they'll just jump and shoot.
Yeah.
Jamal would get a foul a game just doing that. Now they didn't always call it, because
and then it doesn't look too great, especially because he's just launching it at the backboard. But when they do get it though, it's like now you got to worry about guarding him.